햇살이 먼저 인사해 어제의 무거운 마음은 겉은 뒤로 접어둘래 편한 신발을 신고 익숙한 길을 걸으면 늘 보던 작은 풍경도 오늘은 조금 달라 보여 서두르지 않아도 충분히 좋은 하루 내 발걸음에 맞춰 여름이 천천히 와 가볍게 좋은 날 괜히 웃음이 나는 날 파란 하늘 아래서 나를 다시 만나 가볍게 좋은 날 바람 따라 걸어가 작은 행복 하나에도 마음이 환해져 라디오 속 멜로디 낮게 따라 부르다가 유리창에 비친 내 얼굴이 조금 더 편해 보여 높이 날지 않아도 나는 충분히 좋아 오늘 같은 마음이면 내일도 괜찮을 거야 가볍게 좋은 날 괜히 웃음이 나는 날 파란 하늘 아래서 나를 다시 만나 가볍게 좋은 날 바람 따라 걸어가 작은 행복 하나에도 마음이 환해져
Distance captures
숲속 나무들은 결코 혼자 자라지 않습니다.
speechless, but lately I feel myself. I can't for help. This wall saves me from equal pressure. This wall trades me to live on the outside space. I can feel my face. I'm gonna make
자원은 나누고 책임은 순환하며 성장은 계속됩니다. 서로가 서로를 키워가며 더 울창해지는 숲처럼
gonna break it on my own game.
한화는 협력사, 강소기업, 스타트업이 함께 자라나는 대한민국의 성장 생태계를 만들어가고 있습니다. 대한민국이라는 거대한 숲, 한화가 함께 키워가겠습니다. 지속 가능한 내일, 한화.
Hi everyone, we are here in London, UK. We want to speak about the health technology which you have in all these new products. And we have Senior Vice President Dr. Hon Park with us. He's head of digital health team at Samsung Electronics.
Thank you. Honored to be here. We continue to look at the 4 pillars of wellness: sleep, nutrition, activity, stress, and look at new biomarkers that we can collect. And for example, in the nutrition metabolic side, we have beta carotene measurement called the antioxidant index. We have AGES index that we produce, which is really a way of measuring metabolism to some degree, and it correlates with hemoglobin A1C. So we continue to look at different ways of looking at either the 4 specific pillars of sleep, nutrition, activity, mental health, or in the 5 therapeutic areas of cardio, metabolic, musculoskeletal, neurologic, women's health. These are the top 5 areas we're looking for additional biomarkers. But what's really happening over time is not just about how do you improve your sleep, how do you eat better, that we continue to do, but where really we're moving towards is how do you minimize the risk of these diseases that will impact your quality of life. So really our focus is the combination of these, how do they impact your risk for these diseases so we can increase your health span. And so a very concrete example is our heart health score that is being launched. And with that, it is a combination of sleep and activity, and using some validated instrument to reference, we actually can show that whether you work out, whether you sleep well, and how that corresponds to the risk of heart disease over time.
And with the use of AI technology, this
We can
gets
scale,
easier
yeah,
and
and
easier.
scale, right?
Because it can recognize patterns much better. It can combine different data formats from different sensors together and give you more information.
So example is that we are not just looking at wearable data, we use the mobile device data. We also are collecting now SmartThings data. We're beginning to bring those in. We have PHR data in 3 countries, so we're bringing that in over time. And so what
Patient health record data, right?
Yeah. So clinical data, diagnosis, treat medications, all this information. And we're creating a foundation model in order to understand patterns that we've never seen before. There was a recent study from Stanford, I believe, where they looked at PSG, so sleep data. When you go to the laboratory for the obstructive sleep apnea, they looked at their clinical history over a number of years, and they actually were able to find with statistical significance correlation of signals that actually projected their disease of XYZ, or even all-cause mortality as an example. And so I guess my point is we're not only collecting data from disparate sources or multimodal data, but we're also measuring context. And I think this is what's missing, because when I look at my behavior on a given day, my ability to accommodate for a micro change varies from time to time. When I'm too busy, when something's happening, I'm not able to make the change. And so this is your specialty. And so I'd love to kind of, think or get your thoughts, but we believe that people they have windows of opportunities that open up certain times of their days, weeks, months. And when we know when that window opens, we think we have the ability, because they have the capacity and the motivation, we think we can move them. And then do it in a way that rewards their brain. And if we can do those things over time, even if we don't catch all the windows, we catch enough, we think that our probability of getting someone's behavior changed and sustained is our approach.
I think it's completely new with the help of AI, because we now know that we are not the same person all the time.
Right.
And some people are fitter in the morning. We know it's from the genes. It's the people, like we say, the early wakers, the Skylark people. And some people actually get fit after lunch towards the evening. Suddenly I can work better, and they are really fit at night.
Right.
We call them the night owls. And it's to a certain degree genetic, although most people are hybrid, right? But knowing that would be really helpful, because hey, for me, a miracle morning is not good. Actually, all my health data shows me my cortisol level, my stress level, my heart rate. It doesn't get better. Maybe it's better for me if I do yoga, stretching, meditation in the morning, and I do an evening run. It's better for me. And people would never know if they wouldn't have data about themselves. But actually, with Samsung Health and new devices, you can tell them an overall pattern of how you act over the day, over weeks, when you're fit, when you're not, right?
Exactly.
So it means actually, with help of AI technology, with help of Samsung Health makes being healthy easier.
Exactly.
Is that-
Simpler and easier is what we're trying to do.
Is that the goal?
That's the goal. We believe that in the last mile of healthcare, behavioral change, or whether a person decides to do X, Y, Z, whether that's losing weight, exercising more, sleeping, these things require someone to change their behavior.
Right.
At the end of the day, it all comes down to, does the brain, right, help you or fight against you, right? And it depends on which day, and depending on the environment, jet lag, all these things, right? Or at nighttime, you're tired, you open the refrigerator, there's something sweet, or there's a pizza from last night, right? And it's so convenient. You have to fight all of that. So sufficient to say, yes, we believe behavioral change is the core at this. So our bet is, and I think all the other big techs are moving in this direction, is let's get an AI-based assistant or a coach that knows you, meets you where you are, knows what you're going through during the day, and then nudge you and do different techniques to get you to do the things towards your goal. So I think that's happening now. We are moving in that direction. I think one of the things we have learned is that while there's a set program you can put someone on, whether it's you want to do a marathon or whatever, you can specify certain ways a normal person would, get trained up or get ready towards that goal of a marathon or whatever that health goal may be. It's really about knowing that 80% will have setbacks. How do you meet them? So I think one of the things that we're doing differently is about setbacks is a reality. How do you know when they're in a setback? How do you adjust the program to get this person back? And when do you know to just let them be? That's, I think, the art that we're trying to figure out. And that's where AI has the power to help us with that. And I think we're in that journey. It's necessary, but insufficient. We're social animals, right?
We have social brains.
Our DNA is meant to interact. And this is how the study not recently, but a study that was done longitudinally of men as they age from 20 to whatever, they were collecting all this information.
It's a Harvard happiness study from the 1930s,
So,
5 generations.
So this goes to what you're saying is at age 50, the most predictive thing about happiness and health was social connections, right?
And even
That's
later,
right.
like when they get 70, 80, 90, it gets even more
Right,
important.
exactly. So I agree with you. So I'm not saying AI is the answer, period. If you look at our vision statement, we talk about connected care. When we say connected care, we say 3 things about connected care. Connecting device and the data and the insights that will be driven from that, connecting people to each other, including doctors and family, and connecting the partners and ecosystem. That's how we define it. So our architecture for our software and hardware is about those 3 things. So absolutely agree that social isolation or social support has significant contribution to the dopamine releases that are necessary for our function. We know that.
For the motivational system.
Absolutely. So I'm responding to the question of how does AI and could we do that? That doesn't mean we don't take care of the core need around social connections, because I agree with you.
Samsung is not just relying on the really frontier models from the US or other partners, but you are also generating generative models yourself, smaller models for health, for the devices, right?
Yes. We have Samsung Research that is in collaboration with us to develop the next generation foundation models. And so we are definitely doing that. But what we're seeing is that it's not about one.
허리를 바르게 세우고
후. 내쉬는 숨과 함께 몸을 편안하게 하며 눈을 감습니다. 지금부터 숨을 들이쉬고 자연스럽게 내쉽니다. 다시 한번 들이쉬고 내쉬고 들이쉬고 내쉬고 깊게 들이쉬고 천천히 내쉽니다. 지금 나를 힘들게 하는 사람이 있나요? 그 사람을 떠올려 봐요. 그 사람이 나에게 어떤 행동을 했는지, 그로 인해 나는 어떤 감정을 느꼈는지 생생하게 떠올립니다. 그리고 마음의 눈으로 내 몸 어디에서 그 힘든 감정이 가장 잘 느껴지는지 살펴봅니다. 머리가 지끈지끈할 수도 있고 어깨가 뻐근할 수도 있어요. 가슴이 답답하거나 배가 사르르 아파올 수도 있습니다. 불편함이 느껴지는 부위에 가만히 손을 올려놓고 내 손에 따뜻한 온기를 전해줍니다. 그리고 사랑을 가득 담아 내게 마음속으로 속삭입니다. 괜찮아, 괜찮아, 괜찮아. 힘겨운 내 마음을 진심으로 토닥여주고 굳어진 내 몸을 따뜻한 호흡과 온기로 위로해주세요. 그리고 좀 더 용기를 내어 다짐해 봅니다. 나 자신의 평화를 위해 그 사람을 이해해 보겠습니다. 지금 당장 그 사람을 다 이해하지 못해도 괜찮아요. 나를 위로하는 것만으로도 충분합니다. 그것만으로도 마음은 한결 가벼워질 거예요. 이제 다시 코끝에서 숨이 들어오고 나가는 걸 느껴봅니다. 깊은 호흡을 통해 몸과 마음을 깨어나게 하세요. 입가에 가볍게 미소를 지으며 천천히 눈을 뜹니다. 이해와 용서로 여러분의 하루가 편안하기를 응원합니다.
첫째, 갑작스럽게 목 주변이나 겨드랑이에 오돌토돌 쥐젖이 만져진다. 둘째, 시간 지날수록 커진다. 셋째, 레이저 받아도 똑같은 자리에 재발한다. 이 중 한 가지 이상에 해당되시는 분들 있으시죠? 이건 단순한 쥐젖이 아니라 악성 바이러스 덩어리입니다. 절대 방치하시면 안 돼요. 많은 분들이 그냥 레이저 받거나 대충 손톱으로 뜯어내는데 이 바이러스균은 피부 18층 안에 깊숙이 숨어 있어서 겉만 뜯어내봤자 절대 안 죽어요. 오히려 더